Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Lost and Found, World War I Fokker D.VII returns to the Netherlands. Trump names Republic CEO as FAA head. Sun glare possible contributing factor in Midway near miss. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Lost and Found, World War I Fokker D.VII returns to the Netherlands. A rare First World War-era Fokker D.VII is set to return to the Netherlands in September 2025 to be put on display at Soesterberg's National Military Museum. The aircraft was traced back to Dutch heritage after spending decades in Germany. The aircraft, registered D-28, was designed during World War I and originally entered Dutch service before the Second World War. It was believed to be in the Netherlands until, in December 1945, an American Monuments, Fine Arts, and Archives team uncovered it in a German barn. The group handed the aircraft over to the Deutsches Museum in Munich, Germany. Still, there was little to no information known about the aircraft's history or origins. The plane was only discovered to have Dutch markings and a registration number during a restoration project in 1980. Despite ongoing gaps in the historical record, collaboration between Dutch and German museum researchers led officials to make a compromise. It will be put on display in the Dutch National Military Museum starting in September 2025. The most significant mystery remains the aircraft's movements between May 1940, when it was last documented in the Netherlands, and its discovery in Bavaria in 1945. It's believed to have been taken as part of a planned Nazi aviation museum, but no definitive proof exists. After the break, smuggled Falcon 900 aircraft seized by U.S. government.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Smuggled Falcon 900 aircraft seized by U.S. government. The U.S. has taken another step in enforcing sanctions against Nicolas Maduro and his regime by filing a civil forfeiture complaint against a Dassault Falcon 900EX. The aircraft, smuggled out of the U.S. under false pretenses and used by Maduro himself, was picked up in the Dominican Republic last year. The government now seeks to claim it permanently, citing violations of U.S. sanctions and export control laws. It referenced President Trump's 2019 executive order, which added to a national emergency declared in 2015. AEA introduces new electronics tech credential. The AEA announced its brand new certification for the avionics industry, the Certified Aircraft Electronics Technician, or CAET, at the 68th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show in Phoenix. The association developed and supports the credential and says it's now the primary certification for technicians. The CAET is designed as a knowledge-based certification for entry-level technicians and involves a written exam that must be passed. The test is administered online through a new partnership between AEA and the Unmanned Safety Institute. Viola assumes leadership at GAMA. James A. Viola is officially the new president and CEO of the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, the sixth leader of the association since it was founded 55 years ago in 1970. Mr. Viola said, quote, "It's a privilege and an honor to be able to lead such an impactful global organization that's known for the great work it does on behalf of the general aviation industry. I look forward to working with our membership to continue to advocate for policies and regulations that allow for the industry to grow, flourish, and advance innovation." End quote. Stranded Starliner astronauts return to Earth with Crew 9. NASA is welcoming astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore home after their 10-286-day stay on the ISS. The pair splashed down off the Florida coast on March 18th alongside Crew 9 astronaut Nick Hague and cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov. Williams and Wilmore arrived at the ISS in June 2024 aboard a Boeing Starliner for what was supposed to be a simple 10-day crewed flight test. However, thanks to thruster malfunctions and a growing list of technical concerns, Starliner was ultimately flown back to Earth without them. That's it for today's Trip Around the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Trump names Republic CEO as FAA head. President Donald Trump has nominated Republic Airways CEO Bryan Bedford to lead the FAA, placing him in charge of an agency still dealing with the aftermath of the deadliest U.S. airline crash in nearly 2 decades. President Trump posted on social media, quote, "As the former president and CEO of Republic Airways, Mesaba Airlines, and Business Express Airlines, Bryan brings over 3 decades of experience in aviation and executive leadership to this critical position. Bryan will work with our great Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, to strongly reform the agency, safeguard our exports, and ensure the safety of nearly 1 billion annual passenger movements. Congratulations, Bryan," end quote. Bedford, who has led Republic Airways since 1999, has spent decades in the regional airline industry. His tenure at Republic saw the airline expand significantly before filing for bankruptcy in 2016. While he has been recognized for his leadership, his stance on pilot training regulations has drawn criticism, particularly from lawmakers who have fought to maintain current safety standards. In 2022, Republic petitioned the FAA for an exemption that would allow its Flight Academy graduates to obtain commercial pilot certification with roughly half of the required 1,500 flight hours. The FAA rejected the request, stating it could compromise safety. After these messages, sun glare possible contributing factor in Midway near miss.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
Direct Fly USA proudly introduces the new Alto NG, a single-engine, 2-seat light sport aircraft for the North American market. This simple, all-metal aircraft design provides low-maintenance cost, easy, comfortable access, and responsive flight controls. Equipped with a Rotax 912 engine and a ballistic parachute, the Alto NG is reliable and safe. Learn more about the Alto NG at directflyusa.com.
Welcome back. Sun glare possible contributing factor in Midway near miss. The NTSB released its preliminary report that revealed sun glare may have been a contributing factor in a February 25th incident at Midway Airport in Chicago that nearly resulted in a collision when a Flexjet aircraft crossed a runway in front of a landing Southwest Airlines jet. The Southwest crew performed a go-around to avoid hitting the Flexjet aircraft. The agency said in its report that the Flexjet crew was instructed by ground control to turn left onto runway 4L, cross runway 31L, and hold short of runway 31C, where the Southwest aircraft was arriving. The report said, quote, according to post-incident statements, the flight crew of LXJ 560 indicated that as they turned left onto runway 4L 22R, the sun was impeding visibility from the right side of the aircraft, the direction in which the Southwest jet was heading toward them. The report added that the Flexjet crew, quote, did not recall seeing any hold short line or pavement markings or any other signs for the 31L intersection as they taxied onto runway 4L 22R. They further stated that runway 13R 31L appeared to have a very similar width to taxiways and that they had not recognized it as a runway. The captain stated that as he approached runway 13C 31C, he had thought it was runway 13R 31L, end quote. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.